My camera's being a little weird, so I hope that this works out. This is the vlog for December 10th, 2018, and today was pretty good. The sun came out right in the middle of the day, and I went outside because the backyard was full of blue sky. I went out the front door, and the front was all cloudy, but there was sun sort of in the distance. As low in the sky as the sun stays this time of year, it's pretty easy if it's below the cloud line to still be light out, except when it's completely cloudy. But it wasn't. It was actually reasonably warm, to the point where when I was in the sun for like an hour at a time, well, for an hour, I shouldn't say at a time because I was only out there walking for 2 hours. But while I was in the sun, I was getting hot. So I almost took off my sweatshirt at one point, but I didn't. But it was comfortable. I'm trying to make sure that this is centered. I read a little bit of a disheartening article about making money as a writer, and I knew that this was not going to be a super lucrative profession when I got started. I'd like to be able to support myself by writing, but it's very likely that after I get the first book published, hopefully I have time to get the second manuscript trimmed down and to a place where I like it. And then writing the third book is going to be very tricky because I'm probably going to have to get a job and work in the meantime. And I sort of hoped that that wouldn't be the case. The advance that most people get on a manuscript sold to a publisher is, especially for a first-time author, it's tiny. The estimates I'm seeing generally range from between $5,000 and $15,000. I don't know if that's for publishing in general or if that's for fiction in particular. I imagine fiction is probably actually less. I have been seeing numbers as low as $2,000, which was as much money as I would make in a month working at Nintendo, basically. And that's not great. At the very least, if I manage to sell this manuscript quickly, I would be able to afford to pay another few months' rent on top of what I've already done. But we'll see. But I don't want to be down in the dumps. I can't depress myself with this stuff. I'm sure reality will depress me eventually, given the rest of the way this year has gone. But I just watched the internet. I just watched a Markiplier try not to laugh challenge video, and these aren't really like good challenges because part of it is having him in the frame ready to burst out laughing, and a lot of these things is only going to encourage people sympathize, laugh. That's the whole reason laugh tracks existed, and still exist on a handful of shows. People are more likely to laugh when they're hearing other people laugh. People will laugh at things that are not funny if they hear other people laughing. But like, it's not that hard to just sort of buckle down and, okay, what am I watching? All right. Oh, the cat's jumping in the window. Okay. And you can do a pretty good job of keeping yourself from laughing, but I don't think that's what Markiplier's trying to do anyway. He's actually, I mean, it's sort of brilliant. Reaction videos are garbage. I always get really ticked off when YouTube tries to sell me on reaction videos. It's done a very good job of weeding that out, actually, in the last 3 or 4 years. But what Markiplier is doing is he's stringing together a bunch of videos. Some of them are short little vines, 6 seconds long. Some of them are longer, 10 or 20 seconds. And he is just doing them in a row, and he's edited together 10-minute videos out of these things. And that editing work, I mean, he's taking other people's work, yes, that's sort of, but he's adding something to it that is far more substantial than just going, ooh, or, the problem with these reaction videos is that, like, The people that are just exploding in amazement seem, to me, for the most part, disingenuous. Like, they don't seem like they're really that excited, like they're putting on a show. Or if they are that excited, they're simple. You know, I don't like using a lot of slang terms, but they're just basic. Um, and that's really my big problem with them, is that I think they're going for a cheap. They're sort of churning them out into, well, they were churning them out to make money using YouTube's old pay metric, as I understand it. That was one of the things that made them so popular. But yeah, the people that are really like working on stuff and editing things together and putting together interesting pieces of video, I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for like people like Quite Shy. Quite Shy is mute, but she uses a text-to-speech program to narrate her own videos. They're very short. They're usually between 1 and 2 minutes long. They're almost all Warframe related, but even when they aren't, they're still pretty good. And she's just coming up with clever jokes, and she's making good weapons seem silly and bad weapons seem atrocious, but also funny, and more power to her. She makes a video just about every single day. So do I, but I'm not putting a lot of work into these. And these aren't meant to make money, and they're not meant to. It's a vlog. It's a log of my life in the year 2018 and a little bit of 2019. And that's all it needs to be. So, I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.